A very warm welcome to all of you. Today, as a part of a course, we are here about to discuss in the basics of image processing part 2, the main concepts, digital image formation and image acquisition. We know that an image is worth more than 1,000 words. This is the main motive behind the subject called digital image processing, because we know the things which we cannot describe in words can be understood by one image. Actually, this particular statement is a modified version of a picture is worth more than 1,000 words. Next, we go towards structure of human eye. How the human eye helps for image formation. Very first one, when we discuss about structure of human eye, it is actually spherical in shape, which is actually with an average diameter of 20 mm approximately. This is an approximation. Most of the people have this as 20 mm. This is the simple structure of human eye. And when coming to the human eye, there are three membranes which encloses the eye. And the very first of them are cornea and sclera. And these form as outer cover. Here, cornea is clear outer layer available at the front of the eye, whereas sclera is at the back of the eye. Here, the cornea helps our eye to focus such that focus the light such that we can see the objects or the scenery very clearly and legibly. Next part is choroid. It can be considered as the middle layer in the tissue in the wall of eye. This is a very thin layer. It is most probably made up of blood vessels, and these vessels carry oxygen and nutrients to the outer part of the retina. In simple words, we can say that it is the life source that keeps our retina functioning and healthy for a longer ways. Next part is the retina, as all of us know it is. It can be called as a layer which is available at the back of our eye, which is used for sensing the light and sending the information of that light, that is whatever image we see, to our brain. It works as a projection towards our eye to the brain. Now, other than this, we have like macula, other like which is used for reading purpose, driving, seeing the details things. There are so many things. Next one, iris. You can call it as pupil. It actually is 2 to 8 millimeters in diameter. It controls the how much of light has to enter. That is why when we see a particular range of brightness, we feel a problem and we suddenly stop. This is the place where the iris helps us how much light has to enter the eye, and suddenly it makes the pupil to get close. Now, this iris has the muscles which changes the size of the pupil. Now, these muscles help us to control the amount of light that has to make it enter by making the pupil to be a larger one or a smaller one. And the last but not the least, one of the important part is in the structure of human eye, the lens. It is a curved structure. You can see at the picture there, it is a curved structure. Actually, it bends the light and it focuses the particular light particle for the retina for the purpose of seeing the images easily and clearly. Now, it is considered as a disc, clear disc behind the iris, and actually the lens are flexible, and they can be changed the shape or structure for helping us to see the objects clearly, whatever it may be the distance, it may be larger or smaller. It will make the changes in the shape of the lens and makes us to see the things clearly. Next, image formation in the eye. Let us see this one. In general, we can see the picture as eye there. If it is somewhat distance at a distance, it takes around if it is 100 mm and the length of the object is around 15 meters, you can see the approximate value it takes is from the 17 mm. And let me tell you important point here. What are the image courtesies we are taking from here, showing here are from Rafael Gonzalez and Richard E. Wood, digital image processing subject, that is 2nd edition. You can see the mirror image at the eye part here at the end. Now coming to the technical point here, how it happens in the picture. Image formation. Let us say this is the scene element. Look at that part. On the top, it is having illumination energy. Once the illumination energy is put down on the scene means a picture or a scenery, whatever we see, the imaging system, it might be anything from starting from a normal camera to a sensor to a bigger camera like a video camera or a medical imaging tech device or anything. How it takes the image in the normal plane and how it digitizes at the output side such that we can save and store and have them for the future or further processing for our applications. This is how the digital image looks like. As per in the very first video of basics of image processing, we said a grayscale, it is having the pixel values there. You can see the 254 like pixel values. How can we show the pixel values? Now coming to the image acquisition tools, image acquisition part of this video. There can be anything starting from human eye to a camera to an X-ray machine. A positive emission tomography means it is medical X-ray from X-ray machine, PET, PET, positron emission tomography, this infrared imaging. All these things are like these three things. First, this X-ray or positron are considered as medical imaging modalities. Infrared imaging is mainly used for capturing the images like satellite imagery or the construction purpose. They can have this infrared image which helps the construction workers to identify any moisture is available in the walls or not, like that. Geophysical means it is helpful for the satellite images or aerial images to identify whether vegetation is there or water is there or not, like that. These are different image acquisition tools. Now all these image acquisition tools will have the different types of sensors. Very first one of them is the image acquisition sensors. Actually, sensors are mainly used to transform whatever the energy that has been taken from the source, that is illumination energy, to digital images. Now we can say that theoretically, sensors are of three types: single imaging sensor, line sensor, and array sensor. Very first among them is single imaging sensor. Now these sensors, the single imaging sensors, are mainly used to capture the two-dimensional images. And you can see that in the X and Y directions between the sensor and the area, there must be relative displacements available there. We can say a film negative can be mounted there and it can be made to as a drum and move forward and front like the old photostat machines. And the second one, line sensor or linear sensor. This is how it looks like, a line. Like you can see that it can be any length. Now it looks like a geometry that is used much more frequently than the single sensors. It looks like an inline arrangement of all the sensors, or in simple words it can be called as, it is made in the form of a sensor strip. They have all the imaging elements in one direction. Now this particular line sensor operation can be explained with the next picture here. This can be made to move perpendicular to the scene area, and it provides the imaging in the other direction also. In line sensors, this type of line sensors, mainly used in the airborne, that is aerial survey imaging applications. Whereas in aircrafts, they have this in aircrafts to identify the landing purpose in aircrafts because they require a constant altitude. The next sensors is array sensor. Now, most used electromagnetic and ultrasensing devices are arranged in array format. Actually, when you go to any medical imaging devices which are having ultrasonic waves or any type of computer tomographies, they are arranged in the array format. First that they are also available in the nowadays in digital the most used acquisition tool called as digital camera. Now here the illumination source reflects the energy from a scene element, and the first function performed in the image system is to collect all the incoming energy and to put the focus onto an image plane. This is how this entire array sensor works. And the applications can be in medical field or an astronomical field. It depends upon the way we are going to use these sensors. Hope this video has helped you to gain some knowledge on basics of image processing and image formation mainly, and image acquisition tools. Later we will go through with the sampling and quantization in the future videos. Thank you for listening.